What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Saints Rise podcast here in beautiful Newport Beach. And it's going to be a very special episode as this will be the last episode here at the Baywood Apartments. And it's been really amazing getting to start this podcast here in Newport, and just really excited for this episode to come. So I have some really big news that I've been waiting to announce over the past week or two, and that is that I'm moving back to New York. It's crazy to say that out loud, considering I've spent the last 3 years living here in California, but I've had a calling in my recent sobriety and just overall thoughts and way of being that it's time for me to return to New York, to my family, and to my loved ones. Reflecting back on the past 3 years, it has truly been some of the most incredible moments in my life. I'm super thankful and blessed to have been able to experience everything that I've been experiencing out here in California. It's definitely a bittersweet moment for me, considering it was always my dream to live here in California. And for a long time, especially after a couple years of living out here and finding my way and struggling to an extent. I'm not going to say that I've struggled the whole time. I've had my ups and downs for sure, but it's definitely been a struggle and a learning journey to live out here in California on my own, supporting myself. I really just have learned so much through this journey, more than I could have ever imagined. Over the last year, being that it was the most difficult year so far in the journey, I really was tested more than I could have ever imagined. And it's through that test that I've been blessed with the opportunity to adjust and pivot and make these lifestyle changes, becoming and living a more sober lifestyle. I've been called to go home. It's just what I'm being called to do, and it's something that I'm very excited for. It's definitely something that I know is not going to be easy. For a very long time, I actually had this mindset that moving back to New York would be a failure. But with my current mindset and evolved way of thinking, I've now come to a realization that moving back to New York and leaving here in California is not a failure. It's actually a step in the right direction, and it's exactly what I need in my life, and it's what I want, most importantly. That's definitely a huge factor in my decision to move back to New York, is that it's what I want. It's not something that I feel as if I need to do. It's what I'm being called to do and what I feel is right for me in the moment. The most beautiful part about it all is that I know that California isn't going anywhere, and this is one of those decisions that it's reversible. And if I turn around a year or so from now and I say, hey, I miss California, I miss living out in California and doing that life, I could come back. I could move back here. It's not a permanent decision, and it's something that can be played with. And these are the decisions in life that ultimately you just got to go for. I've been back here in California now for 5 or 6 weeks since coming back after the holidays. Through this time of being here while sober, being dedicated to this newfound way of living, I've really just realized and been called that I fell out of alignment with my family life and the life that I should truly be living. And for me, that is being close to my family and being surrounded by those that I love the most. So when I got this call a few weeks ago, I felt inclined to make this move. I didn't really think about it very much. I kind of just communicated with my family and made the decision that, hey, I'm gonna move back to New York, and I'm sticking to that decision, and I'm excited for that decision. It's something that I never would have really thought was, in my cards, but it is. and I'm ready for it. And it's coming up. Today's Saturday, and I'm actually moving on Tuesday. So by the time this airs, I'll be getting ready to get on a plane and get on back to New York and get back to my family. So I'm just really excited to embrace this new chapter of my life and to get realigned with what I feel as if my true path in life is, which is being close to my family, spending quality time with the people that love me the most, continuing to live and find my purpose and become my best self. I believe that being surrounded by family and my loved ones is truly going to allow me to live my best potential and fully dive into that state of being where I'm in full flow state. Not that I haven't been in flow state being out here in California, it's just a different energy and it's a different path being on your own and not having those that love you the most around. So I'm just super excited and really thankful that I even have the opportunity to go back to New York, because a lot of people, when they move and they choose to go away from their family, they don't really have the option of returning and being able to go back to living life with their family. It's kind of just all or nothing for them. I have a couple friends out here in California that also just so happen to be from New York, and when I was kind of explaining to them that I was moving back to New York with my family, they were basically like that wasn't an option for them, and they couldn't even fathom doing that or imagine doing that. I just feel really blessed that I'm able to go back to my family, and more so that I want to go back to my family, and I'm excited for it, because not everyone has a great family life. And for me, I'm very blessed and fortunate enough to have an incredible family. I was raised a big family person, and I definitely got out of alignment with that over the past 7 years that I had been smoking weed, and I was just in the fog of not really fully being there with my family and being the best version of myself that I know is possible. So that's really my main motivating factor in moving back to New York, is to be fully present, to continue to become the best version of myself, and to really just dive into my family life and give my best self back to my family now that I have this newfound perspective and this new way of living. I feel like I'm a completely different person only 5 or 6 weeks now into this new lifestyle. I'm just super excited. I know I've said it like 5 or 6 times already, but I'm ready to have that lifestyle change, and for the first time in my adult life, truly be present, be my best self for my family and those around me. I think that's what's really exciting about this opportunity, is to have an impact on my family and to be living with a greater purpose than just myself. A big factor in living out here in California, it was very self-centered and self-focused, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I believe that there's a time and place to just focus on yourself and do what's right for you. But when you kind of expand that view, you start living for others and a bigger picture than just yourself. It gets really exciting. A lot more potential is going to unfold now that my purpose is bigger than just myself. And I'm sure I'm going to be returning to California at some point. I don't know if it's going to be living here full time or just coming here for work occasionally, but that's the beautiful thing about this move, is that California's not going anywhere. I do plan on returning very frequently because California does have a very special place in my heart. It always will, it always has. Yeah, I just really am very thankful for my time here in California. Just looking back on everything that I've experienced, it's been the greatest years of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know that everything that I've experienced and all the things that I've learned and all the people that I've met, it's all happened for a reason, and it's to lead me to this point right here, that I get to go back to my family with this newfound perspective, all these different experiences, and really just returning in the greatest version of myself that I've ever experienced so far. So I just want to thank everyone here in California that has helped me along my journey, and helped me become the person that I am today. Just thank you so much, California, and everything that I've experienced. It's truly a blessing to have experienced what I experienced here, but it's time for this new chapter. So I look forward to moving back to New York, reconnecting with my family, continuing to get in alignment with the greatest version of myself. I'm really viewing this as if it's a chapter in my book. And if I were to title this chapter, I'd call it California Part 1. So, with that being said, California Part 1, that's a wrap. I'll be back for sure. But let's move on to Chapter 2 of New York, baby. It's going to be a wild journey, and I'm excited for it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon.